Hi everybody, Ben here from Art Less Ordinary. So tonight I'm going to do another flip cup with only the three colours again, but I decided I wanted to do a red one. So I've got Mont Marte Brilliant Red. I have 2 cups of white, and I've got a plum colour. So I made this plum using the Brilliant Red and Mont Marte Purple. So I use I use mostly purple, so 2/3 purple, 1/3 red, and I did add a touch of white because it looked quite dark. But I wanted something quite rich that would go well with red without making the colours too different. So if I added a blue, I didn't really want to add a blue to it. I wanted to add something nice and rich. So I thought, what about a plum? That should give me nice coloured cells. I have added 3 drops of helmar silicone oil into all of these. And that's what I'm just stirring in now. This white feels a little bit thicker than it did. So I usually make up my paints earlier and let them settle a little bit. And I made these slightly thicker than last time. I made these at a ratio of 1:1. So I'm hoping that the 1:1 ratio is a little bit more better at keeping my cells in nice shapes. And that is my ultimate goal, is to have a nice 3-cup pour with cells that kind of look pretty good together. What am I going to use? I run out of clear cups. Well, I've got some, but they're giant, like super cups. So I'm just going to use the white ones. I usually prefer to use clear so you can see the colours as they are layered, but I'm not able to do that. I have to get some more clear ones. So the helmar silicone is this one, and you know what the Mont Marte paints look like, so I don't need to do that. I'm trying to think now how much I'd used. I'm pretty sure I used 60 grams paint and 60 grams pouring medium, and my pouring medium is Elmer's clear glue 70% and water 30%. So that was my goal, was to do it just that tad thicker and see how it goes compared to the one I did last night, which was a little bit thinner than this mixture. So I think I might just quickly get started. So we're going to put a bit of the white at the bottom. Then we will go and add some of this plum. So I was hoping for a nice red type of looking flip cup. But yeah, I just wasn't sure what to add with the red, and I thought the plum actually should look quite nice, especially because I've got 2 whites in it. So the whites will make the plum lighter and make the red lighter, so I get some kind of pinky shades and some sort of, I don't know, light plum shade. Not really sure what light plum is going to look like, but I wanted to have a bit of fun and do another flip cup. I do like flip cups. They are one of my favourites. And I wasn't 100% sure what I was going to do tonight, so I mixed up a second lot of paints, but I don't think I'm going to have time to do both. I actually run out of drying space. Because it's winter, everything's taking longer to dry. I don't actually have an area to put mold to. I can have some canvases, but just not enough. I just got to check. Yeah, I did push record. Panicking for a second there that I had actually forgot to hit the record button. So I'm hoping this should look quite pretty. Again, if you don't want to watch me layering the cups, skip forward. I do this so I can tell people bits and pieces about what I'm doing, and also for the new people or people that are new to pouring can actually see the whole process if they like. The way I see it is the whole process is there. If you don't want to watch it, there's no harm in hitting the fast forward button, but at least it's there for people that do want to actually see it. I used a little bit too much paint in my first layer again, which I seem to always do. So I'm hoping this plum actually is going to look really good. My brain was thinking, what could I mix with red that's not going to become orange or purple? So the plum is a purpley colour, but it's not a strong purple like if I was to use straight purple. So plum 1. Sometimes it can be a bit difficult to think of all the different colours that you want to use, because you try to do things differently to how you've done your other pours. Alright, lucky last, which I don't have as much paint as I hoped. So I think there's a little bit less paint than I had last night too, so I'm hoping that this covers the canvas easily. It doesn't give me too much difficulties. Alrighty, so I'm going to swap that cup and that cup around. So the two taller cups are on the outside and the one with a little bit less paint is going to be in the middle. Oh, actually, before I do that, sorry everyone. My gas bottle ran out, so I'm going to get the new one ready. Last thing I need is to not have any gas when I need it. That's what I'm looking for, like that. Okay, so this is a 12 by 16 canvas, and I haven't done anything to the canvas apart from take it out of its packaging. Excellent. It's a little bit warmer tonight, not as cold as it has been, so kind of good. Okay, flip time. I think that should be about right. So I should get some really nice shades of pinks and light plum colours. So I'm kind of looking forward to this, seeing what happens. Sometimes doing canvases with multiple colours looks great. And sometimes going back and just being a little bit simple and just using a couple of colours actually works out really well. Especially when you use blacks and whites. Because they do change the colours of the, like, with the red and the plum, I'll get a whole bunch of different shades because I've got the white in there. I didn't want to put black in there because I didn't want to make it too heavy. And a lot of reds are transparent. And when I use black with the transparent reds, they go quite dull as they dry. So I didn't really want to do that this time. I'm trying to find some reds that are actually opaque. I've got one. I've got one that I brought recently, which was this Marte Dimensions. What colour is this? Permanent red, which is an opaque. But I haven't tried that in a pour yet. I've just got it ready for when I do. Okay, that's long enough. Let's go. Yeah, it's much thicker this time than last night. I think that was a slight... Last night's one turned out really good, but I was hoping this one would be a little bit thicker. Alright, that's as much as I'm going to get out of there. So I'm just using what's left in the cup to put on edges, because it will get poured off anyway, being where it is. Just helps the paint maneuver a little bit better. So yeah, I can feel even this cup now is still quite heavy because of all the excess paint. So I'm getting a lot of red. Let's hope that I get some nice plum when I do the cells. As you can see, some of the cells that have popped up already have already gone a bit plum-like. So that's kind of what I was wanting. Okay. That's that one done. So I'm not going to torch now, I'm going to torch after. So I'm going to come down my way first. Just going to go back and forth. Alright, I'm going to go all the way over this corner. Excellent. Bring the paint back up a little bit. And then come down and do this corner. Perfect. This paint's moving a lot more easier for me, a bit more controlled. Now I think I'm going to have to go over this corner here. Push all that white bit off. Yep, there's a little bit more paint than I was hoping to tip over. Bringing it back again. And then going this way. Over. Oops, canvas slipping in my fingers. I'm just bringing the weight of the paint back down to the middle. Okay, cool. Now, how are my corners? Just a tad red there. Maybe just a tad there. Oops, I got a jumper with tassels and nearly got them in the paint. Well. Alrighty, so I'm going to have to take my gloves off to use my blowtorch because I can't handle my blowtorch being covered in paint. Drives me insane. Okay. Super flamethrower with a full bottle. It's the only thing with the full bottle, it's a bit harder to get it. Okay, I'm going to just do it really high because this is going a little bit crazy. So I don't always like using full bottles, but we have to change bottles sometimes. So I can see air bubbles popping. Whoops, I got a little bit close and I got some cells. Sometimes it's finding that tiny little part where you're far enough away. You just need to get a little bit closer to bring some cells up. Okay. So we're getting some plum cells now. Whoops. Finding it a little bit hard to get close enough to bring the cells up without getting a whole bunch pop up at once. Once the gas bottle is a little bit lower, I think I've got a bit more control over it. Just a little bit more. think I'm going to leave it as that. Oh. So put your blow torch down where it's not going to touch anything and it's not near anything that's going to catch on fire. Mine's on a concrete floor. So I've got my rug where I do my artwork, but I've got a concrete floor over that part where I tend to put my bits and pieces. Cool. So I am getting plum cells. I didn't get a lot of pink, which is good. I kind of got light red, but I was worried having the red and the white next to each other, I was going to get a lot of pink, but it's not really too pinky. The cells did seem to come up in clusters, but I couldn't get close enough to bring cells up, and then when I did, they kind of clustered themselves, but that's still okay. It is probably because my paints are a little bit thicker that they had a bit of trouble getting to the surface until I got close enough. But this is looking quite cool. So I've got a decent amount of red. Most of the cells, I've only got some red cells, which is a few in here. Most of the cells are tones of plum. So we've got plum through here, dark plum, light plums, white. We've got a fair bit of white cells. But it's kind of cool because these came up as a cluster and they pushed together. They kind of gave the effect of red lacing inside of the white cells. Most of them are relatively circular. They go out of shape when they bunch up and they touch each other, but that's fine because it's them touching each other that's doing it, not so much having weird looking ones because it's over tilted or whatever. But I am quite happy with this. Only thing I'm going to do before I go any further, I'm going to scrape. So I don't know where I put my palette knife. I misplaced it. I put it away and I don't know where I put it. I might have put it away with all my extra paints. I've brought a few extra paints lately on the sales, so I had to put them away because they were taking up too much room, and I may have put it away with them. One more scrape. I just don't want to lose these cells on the edges and get funny shaped ones. So if I scrape it a second time now, then I can be done with that. And it's always good, like I said before, to get in the practice of always scraping. Excellent. Now I'm going to bring the camera down. So the cells have grown to that stage and then they've kind of stopped. They're not really overdoing it. There we go. So yeah, as you can see, the cells aren't overdoing it now. They've kind of grown to where they want to be and then they've stopped. So let's come down here. So we've got these red, focus. We've got red cells. We've got plum cells, we've got white cells, we've got cells with eyes, like a dot in the center. Come along here, they're all quite pretty. Even though they've clustered together, they've actually come out quite nice. So this is the one where they all clustered together, but it looks like red lacing in between. A few air bubble holes, well, where it's a little bit blank because I popped an air bubble with the torch. The paints weren't left long enough. See here, all different plum cells, white cells, red ones. I'm really happy with this. The camera doesn't want to stay in focus, it's being naughty. And here, look at these ones. Gorgeous. Oh, there's an S. Plum. So, this is the whole painting. Looks pretty good. Nice red one. And yeah, like normal, subscribe, share, like, leave comments, tell me what you think. And I hope you enjoyed this artwork, and I will see you tomorrow for another one. Have a great night, everyone. Bye.